Well, hey Capricorn, it's Cardinal Signs Week, and that means we're asking about what you, Cardinal Signs, are getting started. And I'm going to do one for Cappies. What are you starting us out on? What are you starting on personally? What's the story behind that? We'll ask some questions as come along. Okay, we're going to start here with what is the topic of this? Oh, we have a putting down of a burden, a 10 of Wands. So this is such a weird card, as I said in the last reading that it showed up in. But we can see, I think of a cicada, and they stay under the earth for so long, for years and years and years, and then it's time, and they all come to the surface and fly about and feed the birds. So this putting down of a burden that causes you to rise in flight. That's what's coming in for me here. And we can see this bug here is like it's under this wintry town waiting. So there's this about to emerge. It's like Capricorn, you're emerging. And there's a lightness to you. And I think there's something important about that figure in the center of this. It's like a sense of identity. You're emerging as yourself here in a really powerful way. And then like the way that, in the cycles of life that you're also feeding the birds, right? So it's like you initiate this feast and not in a creepy, scary way. There's just something about you initiating a season of plenty or something like that. Lots of information there. Okay. Yes, I knew you were going to get this. The star. Wish fulfillment, divine support, healing. 1 foot in your feelings, 1 foot on earth, which is your element, Capricorn. Sort of an outpouring of emotion. Beautiful. The star card of Aquarius too. And we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is, again, about transformation. Okay. And then there's like a really light, flirty beginning. There's something in general I've seen this Princess of Cups quite a bit as I've been doing these cardinal signs readings. So there's like a lightness. It feels very spring fevery in your case here. I definitely feel spring, summer, fun. That's coming in here. All right, well, let's ask some questions about the you that is emerging here from this 10 of Wands. You've put down some kind of burden, and now you emerge. I'm going to ask the Brady Tarot. It was interesting. All of the decks that wanted to talk with you, Capricorn, are animal decks. So I would be like, oh, I already have an animal deck. And then another animal deck would present itself. So I submitted to these animals that want to talk to you. So let's find out what the animals want to say to Capricorn. So we have the Brady Tarot. Okay. So what has sparked this? A 4 of Earth. 4 of Roots in this deck. Preservation. It's a little armadillo. Again, that kind of image under the earth. Kind of emerging. Sort of safe in the earth, ready to emerge in some way. So yeah, the preservation, it's a survival instinct. It can be a small world view. You're just down in your little den under the earth, curled up in your little armadillo ball. So that's interesting that is what is sparking you out onto this new beginning. Now, roots, earth, this is your element. So you're down there in your element, feeling comfortable. It's funny that that's what sparks you, Capricorn. Let's find out more. Okay, what do you have to get this started? Altruism, a 6 of Earth or 6 of Pentacles. More of your element. So altruism, it's like giving. It's very often a 6 of Pentacles is about charitable giving. Here we see the rabbit and the moon and the snake. Snake, again, speaking of transformation, of emerging, the moon becoming full. There's a lot of full moon kind of references that I just feel like I want to point this out. It's like, here's the man in the moon, and there's this sort of moon shape of the armadillo, and here we have the rabbit in the moon, and this snake to represent altruism, but the snake represents transformation. I mean, it's holding this feather, which feathers speak of air, of wisdom. This is a very complicated self that you bring forward from into this process of preservation. So like you might be, like if we think about this through the lens of preservation, like you might be waiting here to emerge, right? There's some sense of this here. It's like becoming full. All right, what do you still need, Capricorn? A mother of feathers. So the mother of feathers, this is a Queen of Wands, and she is the sexiest card in the tarot. And the Queen of Wands is also, the mother of feathers in this case, is also the queen of the law of attraction. So what you need to know is how freaking gorgeous you are, but also you might need to remember that it's really important to the power of what you focus on. So if you focus on the positive or something you want instead of lack. So preservation is a little bit, or is a lot coming from a sense of lack. So like you hold on to what you have, the Four of Pentacles. In the Four of Pentacles, you can be controlled with that. So, but your will to survive is what this is about. You've learned altruism. So in a sense, what you have survived has taught you to be generous and to be compassionate towards others. I'm wanting to look at this other bird here in this mother of feathers. Right, there's like another bird down here. Usually the Queen of Wands has a black cat. She's got several little chicks. She's got 3 of these little ones here. So she's really coming in as a mother. And she's holding the particular flower. This is actually my favorite flower. It's a paintbrush flower. That's what I'm recognizing it as. It grows, it's a summer flower. It grows wild here in the woods in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I live. So she's holding that. It's a very fiery, bright flower. So this is what you need. I think you need to draw upon your fire here. Because you're being cautious and practical. Okay, we will clarify though. What the tarot thinks you need to know. Conflict. This is a 9 of conflict. It's a 9 of feathers. Little hummingbirds fighting. It's not a usual thing I think of with the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands I usually think of as struggle, exhaustion. This is kind of a 5 of Wands feel. Anyway. So the 9 of Wands. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to look at the book on this. I'm curious what this, because this is what the tarot thinks you need, what you need for this, to start this, and I'm going to look it up, what they mean in this deck. So we're looking at the 9 of feathers. Here we go. Boom. Conflict. Okay. The feather suit has seen powerful creatures such as the charging bison of the 7, or the hawk and falcon of the 6 and 8. It might surprise you to see conflict acted out by a pair of hummingbirds. one of the smallest creatures in the bird kingdom. Although when the hummingbirds come to my feeder, they fight hard, so I think it's a perfect representation of this. Let's see. They appear charming, even magical, with their ability to flap their wings so fast they hover in the air, but ferocious, and yet they are exactly the species the artist chose to symbolize harsh conflict, for in fact, hummingbirds fiercely protect their food sources and will react aggressively. Okay. Conflict, tension, strain. Possibly overreaction to something in the present because of past experience. It's the card actually before the Ten of Wands. So I think what the tarot wants you to know here is there might be something that you might be overreacting to. It could be inner conflict, exhaustion from having to defend yourself over a long period of time. Become worn out, tense, and ready to overreact to any challenge. It could indicate finding a less aggressive way to handle a problem or a conflict. So what I'm getting from this, my friend Capricorn, is that there is this need, there's a readiness in you to emerge. And this is what, it's like you're getting ready to start emerging. And we're really looking at that this is a process that is also in tension or conflict with your need to preserve your well-being, which is that Four of Pentacles or roots here. You do have altruism and a generosity of spirit. There is something that you need still to like believe in your power. This Queen of Wands, Queen of the Law of Attraction, that you will make the world you manifest. So that there's a great deal of responsibility and power that you have in making the world that you want to live in. And so then what the tarot wants to warn you against is actually feeling this conflict with within yourself that comes from exhaustion. It feels like a dramatic feeling, it feels bigger maybe, and it might cause you to be negative, right? So the tarot is warning you against this. Okay, what's the outcome here for Capricorn? It's so you, my dear. It is the card of work. A Two of Roots or Wands. I'm sorry, a 3. Yeah. I saw 2 roots, but it's a number 3. All right. So 3 of Pentacles. This is you building with others. Everybody brings a resource or a talent to the puzzle. So this is the future. And it's been so in these kind of cardinal readings. I designed this for cardinal signs. You're known for starting us because you're the first sign of a season. And you, Capricorn, start us in winter. The element of earth is your element, and all of that earthy element is coming up here. But because you're aided by fixed signs and then mutable signs, it's been coming up in these readings as I would have expected that you get help going ahead. Like the fixed sign takes over after you, which would be Aquarius in your case. So let's see what's going on here. Right, and we had the feeling of Aquarius here as your ally. Then would be followed by Pisces here. So that's interesting. Pisces is the mutable sign. Okay, on the bottom, we get a Daughter of Water, which is the same as the Princess of Cups. This is a really important, light, flirty, young, emotional beginner. There's a newness. So yeah, and then we get the Daughter of Feathers, the Page of Wands, the card of the queer, of the outsider, of the person that offers an outside perspective. Beautiful. And Thirdly, a 10 of Pentacles. Wealth, abundance, security. Really gorgeous array. There's your hummingbird with friends. And this tree of life. Beautiful, abundant world. So we got the daughter of, so we've got water, fire, earth. Yeah. So we'll find out, but there's definitely some outsider energy in you. And that's what I feel like. You're waiting to emerge into a world that you want to make, but you're going to need help to make this world. And what your struggle is against fear, inner conflict, and a feeling of exhaustion from having struggled for so long, which is also giving you generosity, this altruism here. So you're in like this, you're about to emerge. And the thing that you have to do before you emerge is create the world that you actually want to emerge into. And that's really cool, really fantastic. And it's an emotional new beginning, and it's queer. It revises norms in ways. It challenges the way things were in a way that you, Capricorn, with your capacity to be structured and determined and really practical, to put in the work here, right? So we see this work here, this building, making real a vision. That's what we see you doing in the future. I like this. It feels like you need to make a world where it's safe for the daughter of feathers, right? So when I call the daughter of feathers or the page of wands queer, I don't mean gay, although yes, if you are, yes, that can be you. But it's the card of the outsider, of the foreigner, of the one that comes from a different country and then looks at the society that we live in from that alien outsider vantage point in a way that's very practical, on a very practical level, we need to look at it from the outside in order to see, what we want to create. And so there it is, the beautiful new world with all of this abundance and security, the 10 of Pentacles. All right, well, let's clarify here. Let's see what this deck tells us. Another animal deck. So we're finding out this is the spark, preservation. So I can see you're creating a new world that you want to emerge in out of a sense of preservation. Okay, what else? There is an emotional new beginning. An emotional new beginning, Ace of Cups, divine support, self-love. Yep, self-preservation. It's very clearly, there is a Four of Cups, a little hermit. I'm not coming out of my shell. This is very much your fellow cardinal sign Cancer. I'm not coming out because nothing ever really works out in my favor. I see you in your shell, my friend, Cappy. And then there's a decision. You're torn. You're in your mind. Two ideas in conflict. Yeah, so there's this feeling that you have of an Ace of Cups, of optimism, and then this Four of Cups. So those are in tension, right? And you're kind of waiting to start until you can resolve that tension. So what you bring to this start, altruism. I'm going to look that card up after I get out of here. It's such an interesting Six of Pentacles. I actually struggle with the Six of Pentacles in other decks because to me it speaks of charitable giving, and then that troubles me because I feel like we should all be equal, and the hierarchy is one of our problems. But this is altruism. It reads to me of compassion, of fullness of a moon, the way that it brings light. So it's very beautiful. But it's your card, the Devil. It's also a card of addiction, of codependence, of disempowering thoughts. But Capricorn, it's your card. And it's you in the womb, right? You're in some kind of womb, my friend. You're waiting to emerge. Beautiful. Really cool. And death. That's my card as a Scorpio. Wait, do I have this upside down? No. Okay. It's interesting. Shedding the skin and going down into the earth. It's very much about transformation. There's roses, white roses, representing the funeral roses. Again, there's like this under the earth, in the womb. And then there's the taking flight. There's the mind, the Knight of Swords, a message of truth. Coming from above. A bird of prey. The truth, okay. So you're this altruism. Okay, I'm gonna just have to look at the Six of Roots and what this imagery is about for this particular artist. I'm trying not to, but I'm gonna have to. Sorry. I hope you also are curious. So it's about selflessness, helping others with a willingness to change structures that have some people dependent on others. Yes, that's exactly why I like this card. Awareness that what we give to the world or simply the people around us may change reality in ways that benefit us as well, or even awaken something within us. Wow. I'm skimming. I can't, yeah, it's a story about, it's a creation story. Yeah. Wow. Okay, this is really cool. So like the very critique I have of this normal Six of Pentacles is shared by this card, which is that there's a problem with hierarchy. And then to understand that when you give, you also get, and that it changes the world and changes people around us that benefit all of us. So that's really very, very beautiful, very transformative of you. But we definitely see you in a womb and in transformation before you're ready to emerge. And I think this is another energy that you're sensing outside of you. It's a predatory energy. It feels dangerous to you, right? Because these are the rabbit and the snake. These would be prey to that bird, right? So there's some sense of danger that you have as a result of your life, is why you're staying in this womb, and you're going to emerge. Like, this is what you're starting, but there is danger, and that's what needs to change before you're ready. And that's why we need to envision with the Mother of Feathers or the Queen of Wands. You need to use that power of the law of attraction to envision a world that's safe for you to emerge into. Okay, so let's find out more about that. A Three of Wands. There you are, manifesting, waiting for your vision to come in. The King of Pentacles. There's the security right there. King of security and abundance. It's just this, the king of your element. Capricorn, Earth, the Earth King. And a Page of Pentacles. Very grounded, earthy energy. This sweet little squirrel gathering nuts. So this is what you need. More, it's very earthy, very secure, very safe. You need to manifest this so that you can come into it. Okay, what you don't know. A part of the danger here is that you may focus over much on your exhaustion and what's wrong. We see that in two ways. One, we see it here, and which that Four of Cups, been there, done that, never works out for me, is the feeling. Okay, so let's see more about this. 9 of Wands, conflict. The Fool, a new beginning. This is the leaper of faith. So there does need to be a leap of faith. People will look at the Fool and be like, you're crazy, that's dangerous, and you just have to trust, right? The Tower, wow. Surprise, shock. A volcano in this case. Those are your, what's their temperance? Wow. Alchemizing, lots of patience and waiting until, like this is a rhododendron blooming. Okay. So you have the Fool's urge to start this new beginning, right? You feel the danger of the Tower, and the Tower is that the outside world, I think it's the world you're sheltering yourself from. The outside world is going to come down. Structure, I think of structure when I think of you, Capricorn. The practical is structural. And so what this says is that feeling of danger out there, it's not that it's wrong, false. It is keeping you from leaping out on the basis of faith like the Fool. Temperance also offers you divine support, but it says measure, wait, pouring your waters, your emotions back and forth, alchemize this here. So it isn't that you're wrong, you're over dramatizing in any way. It is dramatic out there. You're too, oh, okay. So that's what it is. You have the Tower and the Fool, this total leap of faith and this threat of the end of the world, right? Intention, this is the conflict. So you need to wait until you can calm down and bring the level of your anxiety about this down before you can emerge. So we see a collaboration in the future work. The 3 of Pentacles. I want to understand how this leads to that. So you wait, you're waiting. And we see you waiting. You're waiting to start. You're starting to emerge, but I mean, I can really see, like, I'm a gardener. I've got bulbs and plants coming up after winter, and they're just like, they're peeking up out of the earth. And I want it to be, I'm excited as a gardener. I want to see. Let's see, what do we have here? There is grief and loss, a 5 of Cups, right? We see the 2 penguins, and they've lost their little one. Very sad. But grief can be a tool. And there's a Queen of Cups, emotional intelligence and openness about these losses, maybe. What else? Judgment, ascension. So we really do see this bird of prey. So this is a collaboration, and the 3 of Pentacles shows us that there is a person with sorrow, and there's a person with emotional depth and openness about her feelings. And then Judgment is about if you live right, you get to move on to the next level of life. You finish this cycle and you ascend. And there's just so much about you ascending. And what's happening is that you're transforming what happened to you in the past, your life, your pain. You're transforming it into so that you become not the victim or the one in danger, but you become, I feel like you go from fearing this to being this. And when you realize your power, yes, and that's what you need. You need to realize your power. When you realize your power to transform the world, then you emerge. And it's a very powerful message of transformation. On the bottom of this deck, we see, beautiful, wonderful. Ah, I'm so happy. So we get the sun. This is you, authentic, happy, joyous, free. Happiest card in the tarot. One of the cards of wish fulfillment. And also emotional fulfillment, a 10 of cups to go with your 10 of earth. So it's a beautiful reading, my friend, about emerging with a full sense of who you are and of your power to transform the world because of what you have lived through and what you know that changes the world. And I think this is such an important card. I'm glad we looked up the meaning of this card, this idea that when you give, you get. And so if you have felt exhaustion, this feeling of exhaustion, and this can be a little bit of an inner struggle, very dramatic. I mean, hummingbirds are so dramatic when they fight over the hummingbird feeder. And so your job is to temper that and to bring the temperature down. And secondly, to remember your power and to transform grief into a gift. Right? So we have grief and the way that the Queen of Cups, she comes to understand how she feels and then she shares that. And then that gives you the power to ascend from beneath the earth, to emerge really as yourself. And there's a 10 of Cups with the sun that goes with your 10 of Pentacles underlying in this other deck. And more bird imagery, right? There's this bird here as well, the daughter of feathers, or the Page of Wands. So flight. So very magical, very powerful capacity that you have if you can calm down your fear of this leap of faith and the danger that it will lead to a tower. This is an inner conflict that you can temper. Okay, Capricorn, I hope this helps. Do let me know. Have a beautiful day.